Welcome back. We'll soon all be gathering together for holiday feasts with family and friends, and most of us will rely on the convenience of a supermarket stocked with ingredients supplied by a global food system. But from the new White House vegetable garden to farmers markets to rethinking school lunches, we as a nation are starting to question where we get our food and what we eat. In a down-on-its-luck old Vermont mining town, those questions have sprouted into a living experiment in what they call a 21st century food system. And that means transforming their little town into a community-wide farming circle where everything from soil to seed, crop to compost is connected.
This global food system is killing our planet, killing our communities, and literally killing us. We need to completely retool it.
It's based on a processed product. It's based on product flowing thousands of miles from one place to another.
There's no way you can start factoring in airplanes shipping food around and say that that's not a carbon footprint nightmare.
We need to get back on track of where we were 50 years ago and go back to models and paradigms that actually worked for us.
And in order for us to build these robust and highly durable local food systems, we've got to get back to an ecosystem modeling strategy.
One of the most important things that we share when people arrive here is talking about the greater Hardwick food system and how we feed ourselves. You've got to have good soils that are protected and available to farmers. You've got to have great seeds like high mowing seeds that can actually be planted in there. You have to have wonderful farmers that actually use the land in a way that is good for many generations and good for a particular growing season. Value added, like up at Jasper Hill Cheese Caves, where you have wonderful opportunities to take the cheese that's produced locally and then age it and get it onto the market. And the market is everything from the Buffalo Mountain Co-op to CSA's Community Supportive Agriculture, such as at Pete's Greens and other places. Also get it on the tables of restaurants and in our own homes. And finally, what's left over, what do? We compost it. We close the loop, compost whatever is left over from the food that is not consumed, put it back in the soil, and the entire system starts over again. That's, in essence, is a local food system, and one which is operating today very, very appropriately in the Hardwick and the surrounding communities. My name is Monty Fisher. I'm the Executive Director of the Center for an Agricultural Economy, located in downtown Hardwick, Vermont, on Main Street, between Claire's Restaurant on one side, Buffalo Mountain Co-op on the other side. We're a nonprofit organization that's been in existence for a couple of years. We're an educational part of what's happening in the local food system in Hardwick. Our goal, our motto is really to have as many people locally growing their own food, producing their own food, then eating their own food as much as possible that is grown here, and whatever extra food that's grown, export it to markets within as close as possible, but basically the New England, New York food shed.
You know, we're building a new rural economy in this area, and we are the growth economy around here. There isn't really a lot else for industry or booming businesses. You know, you could decide to eat locally just because you want to help reinvigorate your local area.
My name is Pete Johnson. I run this farm called Pete's Greens here in Craftsbury Village. It's in Vermont's Northeast Kingdom, a little bit north of Hardwick.
We grow a lot of baby greens. You can see baby greens around us here. That's how we started, and that's still sort of our bread and butter. We grow a lot of storage crops, potatoes, carrots, beets, cabbage. We can provide those every day of the year now. And our goal is to have the greatest vegetable diversity possible for as much of the year as possible in this challenging climate that we live in here. You know, we can get frost in both June and August around here, so that's a short season. You have to really be nailing things all the way along because you don't have a lot of second chances.
Jump! Jump!
Oh, goodness. There's probably 25 or 30 small farms in the area. We have pushed the outer limits of the seasons more than anybody else. And so we have things available during times of the year when the other farms in this area don't. And we think that's really important. We think it's, you know, if we're really serious about eating locally, you have to be able to eat locally every day of the year.
And this is a beautiful, beautiful variety. All of them perfect, gorgeous, straight, very similar shape. But this is so sweet.
and so tender. This year we've grown about 40 or 50 different varieties of carrots and evaluated them all with each other. My name's Tom Stearns. I started High Mowing Organic Seeds. We sell to a lot of advanced growers and real professional gardeners, and so we need to intimately know how all these varieties work and perform. And that includes colored ones, purple, lemon yellow colored, obviously lots of orange ones, some red ones, some pink ones, some white ones, you name it. I feel like orange one's the best, though.
I think very few people think about seeds. So when you get up in the morning and you put some clothes on, that's probably some cotton. That was grown from a cotton plant, which needed to be a seed first that was planted, and that seed needed to be grown and developed and selected to have certain traits, to be resistant to this disease or to grow well in this particular climate or whatever. So we are all wearing benefits of seeds all the time. Okay, then you come to breakfast and you sit down, you have your breakfast, whatever it might be. Corn flakes. Okay, so corn flakes are made with corn. And of course that had to be grown. A seed needed to be developed for that. That seed needed to get cleaned on seed cleaning equipment. It needed to be bred and developed, again, to have certain traits to grow in this climate or that climate or whatever it might be. And so when you go into a garden center and you see a seed rack display with all those small little packets, what stands behind those little packets is all of the farming, the collecting of that seed, the harvesting, the cleaning of it, the testing of it to make sure that it germinates well. And if it's a new variety, it maybe took 10 years to develop that variety. I don't mean in a lab somewhere, I mean out in the field, growing it and selecting the plants that do the best or have the traits you're looking for. So we do all of that here.
There's the seed. It's got a nice clear hilum, which is that spot. It doesn't have any darkness at all. And for soy milk and for tofu, that's what you're looking for. So this trial here is with the University of Vermont and the Vermont Soy Company.
My name's Andrew Meyer, and I'm co-owner of Vermont Soy, make a line of organic soy products, and also owner of Vermont Natural Coatings, which we make a line of environmentally safe wood finishes. After graduating from the University of Vermont, I had spent time on our own family farm. I went to Washington, D.C. and did agricultural policy for Senator Jim Jeffords for several years. And while I was there, I worked on a lot of the national policy issues impacting agriculture on national farm bills. But also, the concentration really was, what's going to help Vermont? What is the future of Vermont agriculture going to be? And it became very clear to me that if we wait for policy to set the future of Vermont, we're going to be in big trouble. So it was kind of that jump to say, let's just go do it. Move back to Vermont and start it. We're here at the production facility for Vermont Natural Coatings, where we use a whey-based formulation to make an environmentally safe wood finish. This whey is a byproduct of cheese, and we're in the middle of cheese country here in Vermont, and it's our goal to source that whey locally so we can help stimulate the local artisan cheesemakers.
That process will start releasing some of the whey and get the curd to firm up so that it's easier to cut into smaller pieces. My name is Andy Keeler. I am one of the founders and president of Jasper Hill Farm and a managing member of the Cellars at Jasper Hill, located in Greensboro, Vermont, which is the next town north of Hardwick. In 1998, my brother Matteo and I purchased an abandoned dairy farm. The year that we purchased our farm, Greensboro lost 30% of its dairies in that 1 year. Dairy farming is the heart of our community. It's the fabric of the economy around here.